Microsoft XL, fucking bro, it's BMG.
Hello, are you Mr. Adolf?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Thanks.
Ooh, thank you, finally died. One city. Mr. Adolf.
Ja pierdolę, I try to crouch. What is this? What the heck? Where was Microsoft?
What the hell? Oh. What the hell?
What the hell is the profile picture, bro? Ew. Bullshit ass.
What?
The profile picture of green of the enemy teammates.
After this, I'm gonna eat.
Go shit. Oh.
Dawaj Rambus mid.
Second?
Yes.
Shot.
I didn't hit him. I am dog shit.
Holy.
Crazy grenade, man.
Holy aim, too! I hit it for 6 damage with my nade. W.
No more talking. Now we fight. I throw the flashback.
Step.
I'm throwing a grenade.
Jungle.
Huh? I am alive. What? There's
There's
Holy flash. Oh!
I'm throwing a grenade.
It's Microsoft.
Microsoft Paint.
Why are they both? Holy Microsoft, I've been holding that shit for years. W window jump. Average ADR, by the way, for the orange is 12.
W.
We are actually cooked.
Crazy ADR, not gonna lie. Short.
What's all of you dead? Oh,
Vodka?
bad cop.
It is time now, my brothers. Throwing a flashbang.
Wait, I don't have it.
Grenade out.
Oh my goodness, I'm hating myself.
Look, it's looking. Look, it's exactly there.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Grenade out. Smoke.
Okay. Where?
One stairs, one side. I think steel side. Or underwood, maybe. Hmm.
I'm actually so fucking confused. Oh! Yeah, CT. W. City. Okay. Shit.
He knows what he's doing.
Yes, sir. He doesn't have to listen to me. I'm just a bullshit ass guy. Did bro mute himself so he could eat?
Ah,
Jeffrey!
What?
Why you
Yeah.
muting yourself to eat? It's kinda
I didn't
weird.
mute myself.
I'm hitting my teammate instead. Like actually fucking
I
dumb.
haven't done.
I'm actually so donkey piss. Holy shit.
Yes.
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 You're actually so donkey.
Connect.
Terrorists win. You think you can kill us? I'm throwing a flashbang. Bomb has been planted. Let's go, let's go. I'm throwing a flashbang.
Holy shit. Get one fucking tap. Where? Help me, kurwa.
What?
Bomb has been planted.
What the fuck was that for?
I don't know.
The fucking Glock.
Yeah, distraction.
Oh.
Yeah, you
Trust.
want the AVP? Well, you get the AVP.
Yes, I do get it. Kurwa mać.
A site, one more.
I am so dog shit! One shot, one side.
What? Where is my bullets going? Yes.
Short west. Holy moly, how is he? Okay, he's
I
not
can
good.
tell that he has 12.
Never played this game.
What?
Never played this game. First time playing.
Ah. For real?
I don't know, but it looks like it.
W.
Nigger. Nigger. Back fucking cunt. Nigger.
Ja, pierdolę. Aj, cream.
I creamed.
Of course he crouches. Holy crosshair placement I have. Holy Jesus.
Guys, I tell you, we kill them all.
We killed them all!
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
Throwing the flashbang.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I hit him headshot though. So lucky that he didn't die.
We must move. Flashbang. I'm throwing the flashbang.
What the fuck? Well, shit. Another one very low.
Fuck, they are tryharding.
Yeah, they really are.
Smoke.
Oh, let's go, you got the assist. Let's go.
I'm killing the guy jumping in B.
This is what we have been working for.
You are?
Smoke.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Can you go fuck yourself? 7th time this same guy kills me.
Throwing the flashbang.
And he's not fucking jumping. I'm hitting shit.
Terrorists win. You're not stupid to think you will win. Let's make this right as rain. We are out of here. Incendiary out. Grenade out.
Vamos, Alice. The fuck? They just killed each other?
No, I get the.
Oh, what the fuck? The fuck was that?
My raping noise.
Oh, shit. Oh no, I hope it's not me.
It is.
No, really? No.
You're gonna get fucking down.
Holy shit, get actually shit on.
Damn it. Short.
Do I kill you? Oh,
No, 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 no. No,
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 no, no, no, no, no, no.
hey,
kill.
yo.
Don't kill,
Hey
please.
yo.
What the fuck is going on?
Just don't kill.
Fuck beam.
Just don't kill. Fuck him.
I have a feeling it's gonna be a. Yeah, Palace one.
It's me. It hurts.
Oh, fuck off.
Den kurva under.
We got Microsoft. They don't. Holy W play. How did I not kill him before?
Nah, nigga. Nah. Don't keep up.
What the fuck? Where he is green?
I don't know.
shit, thank goodness. Oh, you don't have to use it, bro. Take it serious. Oh. Fucking me, my nose is gonna kill me one day. Literally, it can happen in any moment. If this shit comes in my brain, I'm dead.
All right, all right.
Oh.
No, I'm pushing mid.
Let's have a match.
Fuck me!
Fire. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang.
Ah, 3 people out mid.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke.
Where's the last one?
Laying down smoke.
Okay.
Counter-terrorists win. There's no stopping us. Move it, son. Incendiary out. Smoke. Throwing flashbang.
Out mid.
Throwing a grenade.
Well done.
Of course no one goes.
Well done.
Defusing the bomb. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. Right on.
Bro. Lego.
Come on, jump, jump. Throwing fire. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. Grenade out.
Under bomb palace.
Laying down smoke. Throwing smoke.
Kurwa, I'm shooting above him. What the?
Fuck's sake. Fuck.
Nice! Fuck off the timing. Where the hell is green? Green, green. Okay. No!
Terrorists win. Show them who we are.
Open. Kurwa, to źle.
Throwing fire.
Fucking good shit.
Throwing smoke. Flashbang.
Not be.
Counter-terrorists win. You're right on. You're right on. Move it. Move it. Incendiary out.
Alles man. Oh, he's stalling it.
Grenade out. Throwing a grenade. Deploying flashbang. Laying down smoke.
Carlos.
Counter-terrorists win.
Hallelujah, 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 yeah.
Go, go, go. Incendiary. Flashbang. Grenade
Tre
out.
av dem. Fram
Yeah, where the fuck are the bullets going? Kurwa, go fuck.
Don't make Kuba mad.
Counter-terrorists win stuff.
finally
We give them a
No!
won this shit.
I swear. Oh, I feel Kuba just did not want to play anymore. This is.
I want to kill myself.
Uh,
No,
Go eat the dog.
mate. I'm going to eat. I will be back in 20 minutes.
Alright,
Yeah, we wait.
then we wait.
Why?
Fuck you, dog.
What you mean? Why? We've got to suffer, then you also got to suffer.
But after this, I'm going. I'm going
That-
for a run.
Stop excuses. Just
Yeah,
eat
excuses,
fast.
excuses. Bro, go gym, not run.
Holy fuck!
Ah, we're
Come on.
waiting.
Chippy chop. Chippy chop.
Go fast, go fast. Go fast, dog. Go, dog.
I have your IP address. I know where you live.
I'm
Just
here.
kidding, I don't. Kuba probably does.
I actually do know where you live. I will rape you.
No, that's not true. If you ask me.
You ask me.
If you ask me too, shit.
Let me
Oh,
ask the
thank you
dog.
for some brain rot finally.
like Gulag. Gulag. No, it's a Gulag. Gulag.
Bij de likes. Dat is cool, op de kiel.
Nē, tev ir neslēgšana ar internetu. Nē,
Mamo.
sorry, slēgšana.
Mamite.
Piedod.
Ah!
Te ir gulēšanas laiks ir tu.
Yeah, I already know I won't be sleeping until 3 a.m. anyways. I
Reini.
can barely even sleep because of
Está-
this stupid nose.
Don't, tāpēc, ka tu esi nomainījis. Tāpēc, tāpat kā es, mums jāstrādā kopā. Tas ir 22, es esmu 4. So, we are together. So, work it. Thank you, baby.
Work it, man. Go sleep, you dog. Go sleep. It's time for sleep. Mama tell him time to sleep.
Yeah.
Time good night. Good night, man. Goodbye. Good night.
We all know you also want to sleep so bad, Kuba.
Yes, I do. I really want to sleep. But when I fucking lay down, I don't want to sleep anymore. Yesterday,
Yeah.
I fucking went to sleep at 5 in the morning.
Sleep!
Ja, oké, maar stir do Kuba Kovinch Saka.
Kuba, go sleep!
He will go to sleep.
I will try.
Kuba, go sleep!
He
I
says he
will try.
Try, baby, try!
Ah. I'll shoot these assholes. I can fly. Ja, hier dan.
Fly. Goodbye.
Fuck.
Ah, so tired. You go sleep?
Well, yeah, I have no other choice. Mama's gonna turn off the Wi-Fi anyways. Like, I have no choice to fucking anything. I'm
Oh.
forced to. So fucking GG's. Not gonna lie.
Wait, before you go. This you? This you?
Ow! Now my mom is hitting me! Okay, yeah, okay.
Good,
Ow!
hit him! Hit him!
Ow, okay.
Kill him!
Ja, Kuba, ow! Kuba, go sleep. Mama, feit. Ja, doe dit eigenlijk. Ik heb niet eens. Kom eens kunnen zitten, man. I'm already there. I'm already in pain. You want to make me even more in pain?
Yes!
Mate. Ow! Mate.
Kill him!
Ow! I see you, bro. See
Yeah.
you, Kuba.
Kuba, sleep!
I will go sleep now.
He says, yeah, he will go now.
Hello.
Shalom. He just went away, so.
What?
And the other gay boy just went away.
Did he die or what?
Mama turned off everything.
Aha, poszedł.
No, poszedł. Bo
Nie
był open,
chciałeś.
just... Nie, mama mu internet wyłączyła. Zmieniłem ci to lepiej.
Mama mu było internet wyłączyła.
Dobra, ja teraz będę.
I think I have to take that one as well. Ooh. I have to
Ten
take
co w Minecrafta gra.
factory new, pretty expensive, but we need 10 of these.
Tap, 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 boiler. Help! Help me! Blue! Oh my god!
Unsurprisingly, we lost that game. I think it might actually be
Ooh.
time for a little game of cash. Oh, how did I not get that? How did I not get that? That's some bullshit. We gotta take it. Oh my goodness. I did not expect that. Pillow punches. It's like literally the second best pair of gloves, I think, in the entire terminal. Let's see how much they are in minimal wear and whether this will be worth it or not. I have a feeling it might actually be worth it. Pillow punches min wear, £1,400. And the terminal's offering it to me for $790. We're absolutely taking those. That is a ginormous things. The float, it's not on the best end of minimal wear. However, min wear is min wear. Actually super sick that we hit the pillow puncher. I can't bring myself to purchase the crane flights because I know they're way too expensive for what I'm going to use them for, which is just chuck them all into a trade up contract. So can't accept those AKs. I'm very happy with these pillow punchers, and it's even got the original owner certificate, of course. So I think we should maybe keep these. This whole video was, of course, after the original owner certificate anyway on some gloves. It's not going to stop us on our journey.
And you can't really make progress anywhere since the way it's blocked by a door that you can't open on this side. Instead you have to go back to the elevator and put in the number 8 button. And let me tell you, floor 8 is a not.
A jak coś to ładuję słuchawki, to nie będę cię słyszał. Czyli no, napisz jak będziesz gotowy, geju jebany.
Nightmare. This is a repeat of the same section where you experience the average viewer of this video's worst fear. Women trying to talk to you.
Where's the multiples? Oh, I'm done.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, alright? Call me misogynistic. I've seen the audience demographics, man. I think it's gone up 1% in about 3 years. You guys, very happy about your transition. But we can tell when you have 1k hours of Ultra Kill and Fallout New Vegas. Although there is a pretty simple solution here, which is cranking up the FOV to 130. So it becomes physically impossible for them to move anywhere as you grow eyes around your head. Just as long as you don't get motion sickness from the fisheye effect that happens whenever you turn around. When you make it through, you fall down to another lower floor, but you can at least see from the numbers on the walls that you're almost at apartment 31. As you enter it, someone calls from behind you.
Over here! He's spoken
to you again, hasn't he?
The
It's a voice on the radio.
Whatever
his request is,
it can't be the
the only way forward.
There may
There
still
may
be
still be another way.
buried deep in these walls. This is what you came for, right? Can I trust you will do the right thing? There's still someone in there. And I need to believe it's not too late to reach them.
He gives you the oasis to stalk you. Nice of him as it is. Trust us. There's no way to circumvent what he's asking us to do. The only way out is through that wall of Fletch. And the only way to get through it is to burn it all to the ground.
In apartment 31, you can find some more supplies. The PO8 pistol, if you didn't get one in the graveyard in Chapter 2, as well as another tape.
Howdy, it's Wayne again. Just calling back about the room you were asking about leasing. It's short notice, but yeah, I can make it work. The room's available. It's small and dusty. Hasn't seen much use lately, but it's quiet. The radiator works. That's a bonus. Short-term lease is fine. I've done it before. I'll leave the keys in the lockbox by the front steps. The place will be ready by the time we ship in. Hope you can make yourself at home, even if it's just for a little while. All right. Give me a ring if you need anything else.
You need to make your way back to the store, but as you go back to the elevator, you'll notice hushed voices whispering in the background. Your character blinking frantically again.
You've entered madness for a second time. You use the elevator.
It again does that thing where it stops working. No matter what
you chose,
it'll take you to floor 6. The dead end's now an open wound in reality. It leads you down through barely held together architecture, platforms made out of scrap, and rooms flipped on their side. Again, a voice that isn't a radio starts speaking to you.
Hey, you work with the ghost guy, right? That storm was like nothing I've ever seen. Oh, when I spotted your boat, I honestly didn't think anyone could have survived. Name's Ryan. Come on. I'll give you the tool. The place is a bit rough. I thought the same when I first washed up here. But before you know it, you won't leave.
You wind up in a corridor with the apartment doors on the sides wide open.
Inside, looking at you are the faceless
forgotten ones.
They just
stand there, judging you. As you make it to the end of the corridor, you start panicking as the wall before you turn
face.
As horrifying as it is, I can definitely see the inspiration drawn from that huge face you'd see inside the floor. Now the Forgotten Ones turn hostile. You have no choice but to defend yourself. When you're finished with them, you run forwards, away from the hands sticking through the wall trying to catch you. You blink and wake up in the elevator again. Now the doors open straight into another tunnel.
Leading you to a record player,
you can finally ground yourself. Conveniently, you end up right in front of the store.
You can finally loot it for its work, which includes a crafting blueprint for a small axe. At least when you make use of the axe head you found earlier without needing a proper handle. Its stats are almost exactly the same with our hole, but these smaller handles are much easier to come by, so it still makes a good auxiliary weapon.
Inside the store, you also find the lighter fluids, alongside a recipe to make the Molotov and another tape.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm helping. I left him. I regretted it. Maybe this isn't even about him anymore. Maybe I just need to stop feeling like a coward. I hope it works out in the end.
There it is, his confession. Hope always looks like that. Warm, nervous, naive. Don't let him get away.
The voice of the radio treats this as some huge gotcha moment on Ryan. For what it's worth, it seems like his attempts to help were taking a toll on his own mental health. He felt guilty for giving up, but he had to draw a boundary eventually. As you move to the Wall of Flesh, he even speaks to you again, apologizing, saying he's also made mistakes, but what choice do you even have? You did all of this to finally get that Molotov, and the only way to the end of the level is through that Wall of Flesh. As you make it outside, the storm's past, the sun's shining, creating this oddly peaceful atmosphere considering what you're about to do. When you make it to the flesh growth, another faceless figure appears in front of you, holding a knife. A figure reminiscent of Ryan who helped you earlier. With no choice left and the voice screaming at you to do it, you burn everything.
He came here for closure. Now he has it. This place, it remembers you. And it's not finished yet.
As you enter the graveyard, you find another note in front of the obelisk.
Hello, TS. Thanks for returning the paperwork. I've extended your lease to the end of 89. Really glad you can stay with us longer, even though we haven't seen much of you lately. I will try to make more of an effort to connect now that you're staying put. Please do come say hello if you're walking past. Grab a beer. My door is always open. Wayne.
Another
note from Wayne, who, despite being the most despicable form of life in society, that being a landlord, he might actually be a redeemable human being with the way the note's written, trying to reach out to Tyler. There's also a small Resident Evil style puzzle here. You might notice these small wind vanes peppered around the top of structures. If you shoot one of them, you'll get the message, 3 remaining. And if you shoot all 4, a platform will drop down, letting you grab the miner's armor. There is a few of these exact puzzles dotted all around the game, which, if anything, reminded me of shooting glowing treasure in Resident Evil 4. There's even one in the Storm chapter that I didn't mention until now, but it doesn't really give you anything unique, just some pretty decent loot. Meanwhile, here, the armor is a huge improvement on the police vest because it blocks 50% of damage and lowers bleed risk even more. Though, of course, as a trade-off, it weighs an entire 3 kilograms.
Back in the original, you would have only found in later chapters, but honestly, it's not really a game-breaking improvement. 50% is a lot, and it's nice not to be bleeding out, but the armor will get down pretty quickly if tanking hits on it, and because of its weight, you're basically setting yourself up to take the damage.
Fittingly, after finding the minor armor, you also get introduced to the minor enemy straight after, a heavily armored version of the Brute. He carries multiple weapons and pretty well armored. His main is actually the gas tank on his back. You can stun him and it'll bend over so you can hit the tank on his back, or you can shoot it, but either way, it's not an instant kill. That's because he's loaded out with the martyrdom perk, so he'll still walk towards you, or sometimes even try throwing the gas tank towards you before it explodes. Fortunately, it takes a while for it to actually explode, so it's fairly easy shot. And the explosion has probably quite a neighbor, so you can actually bait throw it and one-shot them. I've even seen instances where he'll take the gas can off, throw it, it'll just bounce back, he'll do nothing, and then just kill himself anyway. When you kill one, he'll also drop all the weapons he's carrying, but, you know, for the sake of balancing, they're all nearly completely broken. So you can't really cheese infinite weapons this way. At least it's an easy way to get the axe head if you missed it in the last chapter. As you're looking for a key to progress, there's a packet of high-dose medication you can find on one of the shelves next to some graffiti. 6 chances to set things right. Once you pick it up, the door shuts behind you and you're forced to take it since there's no way out. This again propels you into madness, although at least you're immediately rewarded by being able to grab that otherwise inaccessible revolver. Again, a revolver has 6 cylinders, so 6 chances to set things right makes a lot more sense. While the revolver in BioShock was based off the British Webley, this is based off the M1917, both of which were actually used in World War I. The M1917 was adopted by Colt and Smith & Wesson. You can see that this one belongs to Colt with the engraving on the barrel. While you inspect it, it's rusted and damaged more than any other guns you've used. Barely able to get the cylinder open to check the chambers. The M1917 used moon clips, which were these small metal sheets placed inside to hold bullets together, so removing them was quicker, and also reloading if you had the technique, which in-game you seem to have. Fort Oasis has seen a lot of time periods preserved here. Much like how in Far Cry 3 you'd find bunkers from Japanese soldiers who kept fighting 29 years after World War II. It does look incredibly similar to the revolver you'd use in Amnesia the Bunker. That was a Model 1892 revolver, which was unfortunately French. When you pick it up, the room shifts in a single moment. And honestly, it's pretty easy to spend a while just going around in circles because the way to progress is quite easy to miss. It's these chains right above the roll-up door which you have to shoot. I mean, to be fair, I can see the effort from the dev's perspective to make them visible. Like there's even some light fixtures right above, which is the Total Chaos equivalent of using yellow paint. The thought of having to waste ammo to break them put me off for so long, thinking they were just part of the environment. I mean, I'm basically a game journalist at this point, right? Like, complain about yellow paint, and then I get stuck when there's no yellow paint. Yellow paint! Once you make it through the door, you can hear a woman's voice.
Mr. Scott, just relax your arm. This will only take a moment.
You need to keep breaking sets of chains to progress. As you make it through the next door, you stand face to face with a group of figures.
Seemingly completely immobile. They're connected to the ceiling by fleshy tendrils. You can't kill them, and they don't react to anything you do. So all you can really do is move on past them.
The room you drop down into has even more of them. But now, when you pass some, they immediately disconnect from the ceiling and start attacking you. Again, to you, it's just another obstacle you have to kill.
One interesting thing about these enemies is that they seem to use the same voice lines as the Forgotten One, suggesting that they might represent the same thing.
Once you do, you enter a concrete tube, and for the first time, your character actually talks out loud, responding to the voices speaking to him. This is you talking, not a voice on the radio or a flashback or an old tape recorder. The next room has another chain puzzle, but it highlights a bigger problem with firearms of the game, which is that they are horribly inaccurate. You can have your crosshair exactly on the chain, fire multiple times, and somehow miss every shot, especially the revolver. For some reason, it's the most inaccurate weapon. Even the SMG spray will probably catch the chain quicker than the revolver, basically having about as much consistency as the Fedora Man perk in Fallout. When you finally break the chains, a pit in the ground opens for you to jump in. Once you fall down, you realise there's no way out. As you look behind you, a huge needle bursts in, filling the room with blood, almost drowning you. Total Chaos doesn't feature swimming mechanics. You just sink straight to the floor. Before you run out of air, you partially wake up out of the delusion in the same storage room you entered from. The way out is wide open, and you can just go back to the record player and ground yourself.
This entire segment will be optional, by the way, or just to get the revolver. I'm sure if you did it again, you'll probably get like a red dot sight and a compressor when they actually update this game.
When you get outside, you get to watch your main path forward yet again being destroyed.
They've destroyed the bridge to the north. There's only one way to the mine now. To the catacombs below, but they're flooded. You'll have to drain them. There's a pump station on the eastern wing of the forest.
It's a nice set piece, but unfortunately, it's really missing those flat explosion MP4s from the original. You get another blueprint for a lead pipe with a butcher knife tied to it, and again sent off to find the pump station. Butcher's knives become more common at this point, doing slightly more damage than the survival knife. They're great at unlocking enemies with rapid attacks, but this is where the remake heavily builds on the original. As before you can even reach the pump station, you'll have to make your way through the library. To find the keys, you'll have to keep exploring around it, which in itself is very rewarding, as there's a lot of good loot strewn around, like a hunger buster pill lying on the floor, which completely wipes your hunger and stops it even progressing for a good while. I assume this is the Fort Oasis version of Ozempic or something. Also in this area is another Wing Vein puzzle, which, if you complete, opens a hangar door down below. Inside is my beloved, the returning armor from the first game, the Weight Skeleton. Finally, I can hoard more food and healing items that I'll never end up using. Behind that hangar door, you can also find a record called Last Call. And when you put it into the nearby record player, you can hear a beautiful alternate soundtrack. These little blue records are hidden around the game, letting you have at least a bit more reassurance with new music rather than the same Prohibition song over and over again. The blue records also don't fade out over time, giving you that genuine feel of a safe zone with the music playing until you save. As you keep exploring, you'll eventually stumble down into another underground area, reminiscent of the Underhalls. There's some good loot to be found here, like an ammo stash or an axe handle, right next to the shitty axe recipe.
There's also another ring but when you pick it up, it's just static, with some breathing and moaning sound. The exact same the original. There's also another tape.
Moving forward, you'll eventually reach another industrial building, but while exploring it, you'll find the key missing from its pedestal.
The key you're looking for is fractured, but the fragment should be nearby. Security measures have shut this facility down. I'll try to get the grid started up again from my end.
This entire section is basically one huge dark room.
You'll probably want to have your lighter out at all times, but as the lighter is often damaged, it tends to just go out. You scramble to turn your lighter back on, again just in time. Right now, it's the only thing standing between you and whatever those things are. Every time it goes out, all you can see are their glowing eyes getting closer incredibly quickly. And it will go out again, a lot, since, again, it's very old. I mentioned before how you can't even dash with it, since that disturbs the flame too much. But this entire facility is also full of air vents and leaky pipes that will one-shot your flame and leave you for dead if you don't get it back on time. It feels incredibly tense having to try to work out where to go in an area like this, especially since the lighter isn't all that bright either. You can't always quite see where you're going, and when it goes out, almost like a mini jump scare, since you know full well you have to react as quickly as possible to try and spike it again. This whole section is really good, but I do have one small complaint about it, in that there's a lot of death pits, especially considering it's so dark, you can kind of just fall into them. But if you pay attention, there's also places that look like where you're supposed to go. Like the hole in the middle casts such a weird shadow, I thought it was a staircase at first. And also Total Chaos is a game that rewards exploration. So obviously jumping down somewhere and then just being met by a death screen isn't really the best experience.
I'm currently eating. It's very yummy. No.
Anyway, once you get both of them and crack the key, which mysteriously, for its size, weighs 0 kg, the voice finally gets the power working.
The grid is back up and running. We can proceed.
Giving you a convenient shortcut back to the main area and driving the ceiling spiders away. Since this was more of a puzzle section, the next key balances it out by giving you just a combat challenge in the form of a long path you have to traverse, with enemies spawning behind every other corner. I'm not even joking, they do a bit of having a brute camping in a corner like 3 times in a row here.
You did the same joke about three times already. I don't think it's funny anymore.
Before you go up the elevator, there's a small secret area you can find if you go past it, with a tunnel that leads outside, looking out to the sunset.
It feels familiar, doesn't it? You loved this place once.
For how dark this game is, it's really refreshing. It's a beautiful view, even after the storm passed. There's another tape sitting on the chair next to you that you can listen to.
Hi, Leanne Mills here. Your most recent message was, I'm worried about isolation with you. You're staying inside, not getting out of the house, and that can be worrisome. It can be kind of like its own addiction. If you can, and it doesn't need to take up all your day, just make a point to go outside and take a walk. I know that keeping to yourself and your health seems safe, but it ends up limiting your scope. You can just get too used to. Just realize that outside the door, there are people who do care for you. I hope that you might call me for another session. I think it would be worth it. There's really only so much I can do from here, and we were really doing quite well. I know you have a lot on your mind. That's normal. Your thoughts don't define you. It would be great if we had time for a session.
Stupid freaking garbage vehicle. Holy fart knockers. Oh, his 5th attempt.
Ja, bo chip jest, kurwa. Uci w dupę. Stary cię nie kochał.
A matka tym bardziej. Tu.
Dobrze, jebać frajera. To nam kurwa towar podbiera.
Możesz się zalogować w końcu na te drugie konto. Zjebie mentalny.
No mówisz, że telefonu nie mam, kurwa, wysłałem telefon od naprawy, kurwa, zapomniałem, że ja mam tam Steama przecież.
Co za zjeb.
Jak mi go kurwa zresetują, to się zesram, nie?
Ale co się nie może stać w nim? Co, nie możesz go włączyć, czy co?
Ja nie mogę używać kurwa tego. To mi się ekran rozjebał.
Co za zje...
Jaki był pan Guzio. Wyjebak mi
Idę
kurwa, ja
po
mam
te
skuterkiem.
Idę
chuj.
po tę koladę.
Gdy gramy w premierkę? Mogę wyjść na jeszcze drugie konto, tam mam 12k. Dobra, idę na drugie konto, chuj ci w dany Guzio. Idziemy na Faceta.
We had a process that seemed like a fine baseline for you, and that would be nice to kind of have as a goal. Remember, you're not trapped by your thoughts. You just have to let them pass. I hope you call me. Take care of yourself.
There's also a key that you can use to get to a stash next to the elevator with a shotgun if you missed it, as well as another CSTM pill and a bunch of ammo. The wheel key is just past the scaffolding, but there's one more interesting thing here. Another X-marked wall, but this one actually has a bit more to it. It has the standard bit of loot at first, but the rest of the room is locked behind a chain door. Again, if you kept the charge of the bolt cutters, you can use them here to get some more ammo, as well as a knife spear, and to reach another locked door that you actually need a fuse to open. The same fuses from Chapter 3 that you probably didn't think to bring along, despite the voice on the radio hinting that you should.
You may want to take those fuses with you. Chances are we're gonna need them again.
If you did bring them with you, you'll be able to open the door and get another CSTM pill, as well as the literal best weapon in the game, the barbed rebar axe. This isn't even crackhead engineering. This is crippling fentanyl addictions levels of craftsmanship. Fuck. Fitting this much scrap metal onto just one axe handle is genuinely impressive. Functionally, it's just a regular weapon, but for the fact it has 70 different sharp ends, results in it having the highest damage stat for any melee weapon in the game. Definitely worth the trouble of the bolt cutters and fuses. Just obviously make sure to tape it before you use it, since you're probably not going to find a schematic for it for a very long time. Now you have the two keys, you can finally enter the library.
Let's roll. Tread carefully. And here the past doesn't just haunt you, it owns you. Before you proceed, you need to be sure. Sure of reaching the mines, no matter the cost. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. Down here, he knows all. Even those pages you've tried to forget. He knows every story. He knows every mistake. All of it is in his hands.
As you go up the entrance, there's also another blueprint for a compound vial that heals you to full health. This is very convenient foreshadowing that you're probably going to need to use it very soon. Before you is a huge door, unlockable by inputting the right combination on the nameplates. There's also a note next to it, but it makes no sense.
I was reaching through the cold and unexpectedly found a distant embrace, but my world was fractured by the weight of broken things. I was banished, nothing but silence, left to fester in a room without doors, all alone in a dying world.
Seemingly so important that it's also written in gold on the huge stone door behind it.
Next to each sentence, there's also a symbol. There's an easy connection to be made here. 6 sentences, 6 nameplates to turn. Under the note, there's also a book. Through the Cold by Sam Rowell. The title corresponds to the first sentence of the notes, and Rowell is one of the names on the nameplates, which gives you the first solution. The other ones aren't as easy, and one nameplate is even missing. To complete the puzzle, you'll need to go in.
I'm gonna say this much. Kurwo, gdzie jesteś?
Jestem, mówiłem, czekoladę jem.
Pierdalaj tę czekoladę. Steps. Jungle steps.
His name?
That's hungry. Okay.
CT.
He's low. Nice. Nice shooting, guys. Good job.
Nice shooting. That was the terrorist study.
Nice shoot.
Nice shooting. And when I'm hitting.
You know it. You know it.
Larry.
It's good shot.
I will smoke.
Oh, they're pushing. Lots smoke.
3 minutes. Last.
Top mid. I'm actually shit.
Good job. Full life. Full hus.
Inside, it's completely
I
dark.
was actually
If you enter,
puking
you can hear
almost.
laughter in the distance.
Very nice.
Do you not
But as you continue through, you find no one.
Oh,
Soon
but I
enough,
love
you
the
find
guy.
A small reading cubby marked with a symbol above its doorway, with the book A Distant Embrace by Joanna Adel inside, giving you another solution. As you exit to find another one, instead of laughter,
I am
you
dog
hear
shit.
monstrous
What the heck?
gurgling as the reader finally appears
I have no
before
idea.
you and starts
a
chasing
book?
you through the library.
Never.
It's
No,
a
very
huge
interesting
hanging
design.
mass of flesh. Two
But
mountains
no.
sneak up on you. You can hear him even stomping or breaking bookshelves in the distance. If he doesn't to run to one of the puzzle rooms, since he only accesses the areas of the library area itself is huge, so you'll be stuck exploring it for a while. But at least there's shortcuts that you can open up as you progress, so you can make your way back to the main area. There's also some signs
Nice. Copy, brilliant.
associated with the lines of the notes, meaning you can target the ones you haven't found yet. You can find the last missing nameplate and input the correct sequence.
Ay, 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 ay.
The door opens and the reader
Oh,
makes
that's
one
not
final
taking those.
stand to keep you from progressing.
Nie, nie sparatają.
Fortunately, some random plywood fell, so despite being able to straight up break through walls, there's
Door
simply
has
nothing he can do against a wooden pallet. Gordon Freeman would never. Now you can finally go to the next chapter, Regression.
One side.
Good flash.
Every failure
I couldn't imagine better, getting a better one.
twisted. Is now yours to carry. Don't pretend it didn't leave its mark. The sooner we reach the mines, the sooner we can put a stop to this madness. Together. The pump station. It's not far from here.
This entire chapter is an expansion on the forest sequence in the original's Crossing chapter. Back then, it basically served just as a maze puzzle, since it was really hard to navigate.
Te pieniądze, co wydałem dzisiaj, mogę kupić nóż za to.
No, ale przecież ważne już.
Retardem jestem.
Nie pierdolę. Ciepło, ciepło. Nie.
Oh, you have a phase 2, man.
Yeah.
Nice. You like skin?
Oh, of course, man. Nice.
But why only paracord?
No money.
Window.
Where the fuck? Ja, on będzie short, jeden idzie do dżungli.
Visibility to about 2 meters. Now the environment around you is much more visible, again showing off just how much the remake has improved the visuals. Your main goal here is still the same. You're still looking for the pump station, but now the forest is much more hostile. This huge tree monster doesn't like your presence in the forest. As you move around, you can sometimes hear it shifting as it stalks you. It's also, of course, completely immune to damage, so despite it being a tree, you can't just Molotov it and burn it to the ground. Eventually, you'll stumble onto this mini jump scare of a minor enemy. But now he has a shotgun which can wipe half your HP if you get hit. And no, you can't parry the bullets. Please don't try that. Now, he's not as much of an issue in a 1v1 since he gets stun locked by every firearm in the game, but he can be a real pain if you don't have any ammo left and catch a stray while winding up a heavy attack. Thankfully, you can loot their shotgun for ammo. Enjoy having 1 round. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. In the basement he spawned out of, there's some more supplies, including another chain-locked room with another fuse lever leading to another weight skeleton, alongside more ammo and, again, another CSTM pill. Next to the record player, there's also a note.
I was working as a coast guard. I received a distress call from a damaged offshore boat. After packing my belongings, I went to attempt a rescue. A great storm approached. My boat became damaged and stranded me at sea. I lay on the deck of my boat, waiting for rescue, but nobody came. Then, they came for me. A boat from a nearby mining colony saved me. They took me back to Fort Oasis.
Short.
I stayed.
Ay,
They welcomed me without hesitation. After helping me fix my boat, I was hesitant to leave. I have finally found a place I can call home. Somewhere where I found peace. I do not plan to return.
After this, you're introduced to a little gimmick mechanic for this chapter, harpoon reeling. By shooting a harpoon tied to a motor, you can straight up one-shot most wooden structures and pull it out, while also never actually losing the harpoon itself. After you bring the bridge and the wooden barrier down, you make it to a larger graveyard area with a bunch of hidden loot on the graves, including another stamina pill. But more importantly, the voice on the radio begins probably his first documented crash out.
They were all looking down on me. Lita and
Why?
Ryan. Those smug fucking faces. Watching me. Smirking at every step and every stumble. They'll see soon enough. They'll rot. They'll rot all the same. I think it's time I drag them down to my level. Down to the filth with me, letting them choke on the suffering they left me to drown in.
This is one of the first instances the voice on the radio is breaking character.
He got-
Not ordering you to follow his instructions in that deadpan voice, but instead opening up to the player in a
Perfect
fragile, deeply insecure way.
Ja wolę.
Someone that's broken,
Patrzę się na Nejda 10 godzin i wchodzę.
against the people who supposedly wronged him, and revealing
Ja.
much earlier on than the original.
Ale temu jak wywaliłem.
Really representing.
From here, the way to the pump station is surprisingly quick. That enemy that looks like a Dead Space necromorph in the mod also comes back, now having the ability to raise its claws to block incoming damage. Basically the equivalent of the riot shield from Modern Warfare 2, but also a frenzy mode that you'll have to parry perfectly, or you could just break it by throwing a pet rock at him.
What about Pet Rock?
Chodź za mnie z kamera z Inferno.
To get past him, the game
Weźmiemy
again
mieszkanie
reminds you
za
what a terrible
10
place
000.
Fort Oasis has become with the power completely dry.
Ja bym wtedy wolał dom, kurwa, wynająć.
Operate the pumps with
To stąd. Aha.
Koniec taka pizda.
To?
Koniec taka pizda.
Wanna flash B?
A no to...
I give
Ja
you
się
good
tylko
flash.
pytam, no. Ja się tylko pytałem, no.
Okay.
Are we going B?
Yeah. I flash us. Literally.
Oh no, no.
Holy shit.
I have TikTok flash. Pop flash.
TikTok flash.
TikTok.
No, TikTok, man. Backlit.
Two kids. Both.
Good TikTok flash.
No.
Jakby mnie zabił jeszcze, jak biegłem po tego banana, to tam zobaczyłem na asajcie.
At least you get an
I was
terminated
terminated,
map that you can use to get to the generators that you need. As you backtrack
Nie,
to the graveyard, the forest
poszedłem
starts to
sorta
twist more and more, with the
i
fleshy
widzę
figures
nagle
now
tak
grown into
apka
the
w konie
trees,
leży.
constantly wailing at you as you
O, jak
pass.
pobiegłem
Solve
po
the
nią.
harpoon puzzle, and there's one small thing I noticed here
Aż kurwa
since I was
zesrać.
using the harpoon gun.
A później bomba jeszcze wybuchła.
Only ranged weapon in the game that players can't stop. They'll catch your bullets
I
mid-air.
wystrzeliła tą mapkę. Dalej. A ja pobiegłem. Full
O,
nose.
bieg za to, kurwa. Full.
To take a single one down.
No.
Also, I did lie when I said the harpoon is the only ranged weapon
W.
because for some reason they cannot do anything against the nailed rock or the scissors with a brick attached. As you move down the path, you can constantly hear stomping. The lurker, the huge tree, is now coming after you.
You feel it, don't you? This
One
place
ticket,
isn't
one
just
close
around you
jungle.
anymore. It's taking hold. Soon, there won't be anything left of the person who first stepped ashore.
Yeah.
And it's probably better this way. Embrace the madness. And the pain
Oh, one shot.
fades away.
Before you go down the hedge maze to get to the generators, there's also a side path leading to another chain door. There's been a bunch of these already, I know I keep going on about them, and if you open each one, you probably don't have any more bolt cutter uses left, but that doesn't
I'm raping those
intentional.
kids.
It's about investing, saving those early uses for later
Ej,
chapters.
chodź
when the
zagrajmy
loot
w
gets
Roblox,
much
w
better.
TS, ale w
Inside, you can
Robloxie.
find another one of these hidden alternate music
Ja chcę w
records for a
Robloxie.
record player, but there's
Dobry
also a
plan.
recipe to make a barbed rebar axe.
To jest
Weapon
kurwa
I
plan.
mentioned earlier, that's,
CB
you know,
roll.
the strongest melee weapon in the entire game. You
CB
get
roll
some
się
materials
nazywa.
needed to make it, though of course you don't get the rarest one. The axe
Counter
handle.
block,
Seriously, you have no
Roblox
idea late
offensive.
game how many good recipes you
Będziemy grać chłopie, normalnie.
Axe handles are probably the rarest single loot in the game.
Wybijemy te
Now,
dzieci,
the
jak...
hedge maze, it's still easier to navigate than the underhalls.
And then we can say, fuck those kids.
To dash sideways. So do that picking up the hedges. Which at this point doesn't really matter, because if you've got the rebar axe, you'll just be able to one-shot them anyway. As you explore, the voice also tells you...
Ale ma schizo. Mam schizo. Where the fuck is he?
Nothing you carry will stop you. The water and the caterpillars are foul and tainted, but if we can redirect it to the hydroponic systems, we might be able to support this in this place.
Nice.
Conduits feed into the main line.
No,
We
no.
can adjust each valve. We can change the flow.
That's what terrorists say. Misclick.
Though before you can find it,
They didn't fucking misclick on a grenade.
Yet again.
My cat went over my mouse.
This
I
section
didn't
of
find
the
that
hedge
child.
is really good at building tension. The hedge maze is still pretty narrow,
Misclick.
even in the bigger rooms. So you often just barely able to pass them without exploding. Most of the time, you have to open closer to clear the path to the next room.
Although it can be a bit brutal, simply because of this one lever. To turn it, you have to leave the main corridors
Kurwa, dog!
The monsters, especially the
On
second
eyesight.
one that spawns in, will close almost
Jungle on eyesight.
Even more punishing if, like me, you hoarded all the items in the game, you're now basically slowed to the floor. Again, this still serves better connecting you with the character. Just like him, you're now panicking as you try to make it to the main corridor as fast as you can.
Kurwa, tak się strzelają, strzelają i strzelają.
You wouldn't cheat in a video game, would you? No, so you wouldn't do that. When you clear the maze, you drop down into an underground facility of sorts where you find the first valve.
The first valve.
Yeah,
Turn it.
With this, the lurker will hopefully stop being a problem soon. In the next room,
I
there's also
ten jeden
another
ma
nurse.
eye by power na tym.
Life back on the mainland
Na
has
kałachu.
not gone as smoothly as I would have hoped.
Potem tym, mam tak podziały takie,
I have a
ja
new
nie wiem.
chance at life, but I can't be happy.
Stadolków.
I miss being at sea, at Fort Oasis, Lita, and my friends. Could I go back?
A, grasz mi, no?
Nobody's there anymore. They're all gone. I sure as hell don't want to remain in this place. How does one make new friends when you're too scared to even look people in the eye? I need help.
They're going, eh?
Here, you can finally turn on the generators. Apparently, the entire reason for the pump station grid being offline is a single unturned lever.
What the fuck?
When you start making your way back, there's another blueprint for this unholy combination of a wrench and a butcher's knife, which, to be fair, is actually really good because there's been loads of wrenches throughout the game, but you could never do a charged attack with them, so they felt pretty useless. If anything, I'd always keep one as a secondary just to be able to open up crates. So being able to actually have one that does more damage, yeah, I'll take that. There you go, wrench. Give you a little Reddit gold. But with that new schematic, and as you leave the building, this happens. The lurker is done just idly watching you in the distance. Feeling threatened by your progress, and probably that valve you turned, it outright tries to kill you. Even throwing whole tree trunks at you that can't reach. As you run, there's another valve to turn.
There. Another valve. Turn it. Chances are we won't be coming back here.
Hopefully you can kill the lurker before it finally catches up. There's another small harpoon puzzle
Nie,
in the
no
room
to-
the lurker
nie, no
seemingly
ten
hasn't
nóż
reached
nie
yet,
jest
only for it to
zły.
burst out once you pick up the replacement lever. You have to bait him around the middle rock.
Też tak
until
sobie
he gets you
mówiłem, jak
just
dostałem
enough space to
ultrafioleta,
reel in the harpoon and run to the
ultrafiuta.
other side. And after that,
Parakorda.
you into the tunnel entrance.
Get back to the pump station. We can get inside now. When you reach it,
I'm so fucking blind.
they will put up a fight to stop you.
From here, you get a shortcut to right under the pump station, and despite the lurker trailing behind you, he can't
Go
make it
fuck him.
inside. There's
Screw
another
him.
valve to turn, and you can tell the voice on the radio is really reveling in killing everything in this area.
Another valve. Let them suffer. Let them all suffer.
There's also another tape next to the record player.
TJ, this is Mark. Thanks for reaching out to us. We're extremely relieved to hear that you're safe and the community of Fort Oasis was able to rescue you after your boat ran aground.
No i czego my
We also
tego shop.
received confirmation that the original call-out you were responding to has been
I would go away
resolved.
then.
No casualties. You can rest easy on that front. We'll give you as much time as you need to recover from the ordeal. And regarding your sudden resignation, we understand you wish to stay at Fort Oasis permanently. It's sad to see you go, but we want what's best for you. Please take care of yourself.
As you make your way through the station, the lurker tries to stop you. You can hear him raging outside as he
To
tries
one side,
to run
150.
through the windows to try and block you.
hits the station building so hard that concrete blocks split off the ceiling. Ironically, one of these concrete blocks is what opens a path forward. Eventually, you reach the door
Last 50.
Falls down into another dark room section. Of course, spiders. Now you're also stuck in
Yeah, I was about to say, are you retarded?
through sections of the canal. Fortunately, your lighter has no issues, despite being repeatedly waterlogged. At the end, you can find the key alongside the fourth final valve. But before it can work, you have to actually fix the pump system. Going into this puzzle, I was actually getting flashbacks to Infra, a game famous for two things. Taking place in the most technologically advanced Finnish city, and how I'll never do a video on it, so stop asking. The puzzles in Infra would usually involve turning random pipe valves until a random smart tablet screen a kilometer away finally turns green. Fortunately here, all you have to do is turn them on, fix a broken section of piping, turn off the leaky pipe, and wait for the exit to open as the voice congratulates you.
Good. The pumps are back up and running. The catacombs will be past. They go deep under the island and the sea. Once you get down there, I will no longer be able to contact you.
As you walk
short.
through the flesh tunnel, the diseased water you're pumping in takes effect, and the voice again revels in the destruction.
Finally, it's done. They won't look down on us anymore. No more pity. Let them drown in the filth that they made.
As you walk out, you can see the forest. Grey, stagnant, dead. There's no enemies left. And on your way back, you find the lurker on its knees, its hands merged with the fleshy ground, gasping for breath. The light in its head is gone, and it's basically doomed to slowly die.
Despite this being your enemy, chasing you around the forest and actively trying to kill you, it's hard not to feel some compassion or even remorse. The voice, again, kept trying to incite you against it to cause its suffering, but did it even really deserve it? It only started to attack you once you started to destroy its habitat.
The catacombs are ahead. Remember, once you go down, I won't be able to contact you. I'll see you on the other side.
Despite you leaving the area through a door that used to lead back into the forest, now you're taken straight to the catacombs. Now that you've drained the water out, the way to the catacombs is open. And thankfully, the remake has cut down a lot of backtracking, because in the original, over half of Chapter 6 was just a 20-minute backtrack through the same exact path that you took to the pump station. I mean, I get it, that chapter was called Regression, so you're basically regressing by moving backwards. But that reference is not worth the torture of having to redo the same walk that you did minutes prior. Cry of Fear did this, by the way, making you backtrack all across Stockholm for fuses. Something I've referenced and complained about every single time backtracking comes up in a video. And now that the backtracking is gone, Regression is its own forest chapter. And you just get dropped off back here by the Flesh Tunnel public transport system.
What the why did I buy fucking owl? Am I fucking retarded?
Get a full chapter all to themselves, which let the devs expand into it a lot. At the entrance, you can find a map of the catacombs, same as the original, although the layout is completely different now. There's a lot of markings on it. Red X's designating something, maybe obstruction.
Oh god, he's running and shooting, what the fuck?
A mark labeled control and one labeled enough, right next to where you started from. Alongside a message repeated multiple times. Don't shine light. As you enter, the voice has one final message for you.
Yeah, guys.
Lost down there.
Like I mentioned before, the voice has a lot more character in this game due to the very emotive voice acting. And in this message, it shines really well. In just a chapter
tak,
earlier,
ale
he
on
was
trafia, to nie.
manically screaming about killing the lurker, happy to finally bring it to the twos, but here, he's almost scared. He can't talk to you when you're in the catacombs, and he knows you'll be left all to yourself, or he can't guide you to his goal.
Moving through the catacombs, you can find the first map marking very soon. A graffiti reading, "I am enough." As you move room to room, the lighter goes out, leaving you desperately trying to spark it as the darkness engulfs you. And you can see familiar things as you walk past. Hanging on the pipes above you, books stacked the
I
same
want to
way.
kill myself after I heard that.
As you move through one corridor, the screen goes white as something
You
behind
just
in front
bugging.
of you starts shrieking, and the prompt to blow out your lighter desperately flashes at you, eventually going out even if you don't do it yourself. You can hear something running off as it goes out. This is the main enemy in this chapter.
Nie patrzę w pałacu. Patrzę pałac.
Or suffer insane damage. Huge improvement from the original because there they would just put the
side and
exploding enemies everywhere.
Two-way
This
bitch.
new enemy is much more situational. As much as the catacombs look like a maze, they're actually really small, and you can easily navigate through the markings on your map. All you have to do really is avoid the X-marked obstructions, and soon enough you'll reach the end of the north section, where you get another map with, again, very vague markings. Though in one of the rooms, you can make out a symbol representing a record player alongside another word, flares. Now, I know, okay, I did say that flares were removed earlier, but thankfully, here, they're only reduced to a situational item to progress, that you need to actually use them to go underwater. And even though the lighter is still my goat, it'll immediately be put to sleep once you enter the deep waters. Also, in general, I wouldn't really recommend cave diving. I mean, just look at the signs that they put as warnings for you to not do it.
Until a group of mosquitoes were alerted to his position.
This time, however, it's the only way to progress, since the rest of the catacombs are collapsed. The reason why you need the flares is because when you go underwater, you're completely in the dark. Once you pop a flare, you'll start to see the Forgotten once again, crying on the sides as you swim past them. Later, even starting to intentionally block your path. And again, you're so you've got no way to attack them. When you make it to the marked exit, you walk out into what looks like an apartment corridor. Definitely not a coming out of the underground tunnel. The light goes out, and you realise you can't relight it as the flint is gone. But just as quickly as it broke, a lamp appears in front of you. You're not in the same corridor anymore. You're standing in a room.
That's a good question.
Surrounding you, looking at you, waiting for you to listen to the tape on the table.
I want you to think of a place. It can be real, it can be fictional, but it has to be a place.
Ебал мне пес.
Bokiem.
W środku. One may be going connector.
Bomb short. Short. Two.
One is jungle.
I oni się chowali na tym shorcie.
Nawierło nas kurwa z każdej strony na tym midzie.
Mhm.
Pilna żółta, pilna żółta.
Żebyś wiedział, ci dam.
Dziękuję.
And staying under for 20 hours.
Come on, try and connect.
Bomb top mid.
Kurwa.
Sorry guys, GG. Thanks for game.
No i chuj w cyce jebał.
Dokładnie.
Oj, oj, oj. I stary jest negerem. Palił kurwa konia jak byłeś młody.
To walił?
Palił kurwa konia jak byłeś młody. A potem jebał matkę kurwa. Pało od pilota.
Mhm.
Kurwa. No i się zastanowię, czym ci kurwa chcę grać.
To?
Ja muszę się zastanowić, czym się chce grać.
Jak nie, to ja idę wyścigi.
Dobra, chuj ci w dupę, ja idę spać.
To się pier...
Ty też. Dobra, siema. Jebane.
That you would like to be at any given time, so that when you're feeling overwhelmed or you feel give it a name. Some people will call it their happy place. Give it your own name. This place in your mind, only for you. Invasive thoughts are not allowed. Nobody's other voice is allowed. You are allowed to say no. It's safe. It's beautiful. That's what I'd like for you to practice. I know it might feel like we're not making much progress in our sessions, but we feel we're getting close.
The only way out starts taking you through a twisted version of the apartment building, with hallways turned upside down, walls replaced with the raging seawater, and you can hear another voice again. This one isn't Ryan.
This is CT Vessel 297. Yes. Repeat, I'm taking over. Southeast.
It all feels like you're going mad again. But when you reach the door, nothing happens. You exit out into a beautiful view of a sunny skyline. A record player in the distance. As you follow the music, there's one more note on the ground. Tyler, came by earlier, you were out. Can you come see me at the Stillwater? Room 41. You can't save on the record player, but everything feels strangely peaceful, if a little bit off. Like this is the last place on Fort Oasis left untouched by whatever's created those monsters. When you make it outside, you can even hear what sounds like children playing in the distance. The architecture is still decayed and something definitely feels off, but for at least a small moment, you do get some peace to explore without enemies. When you make it to the Stillwater Hotel, you might notice something odd though. The elevator with no buttons, taking you up as soon as you step inside. And when the doors open, you realize none of it was real. You're on a thin concrete walkway above the waves. Telephones hanging by the strings above you. The further you progress, the higher the telephones become before disappearing entirely. The paradise for the brief time you had it is gone. All you've done is go insane again.
Tyler, I was thinking maybe I should go back home for a while. Just to visit, see my family, just get some space. It's not forever, I want to feel like myself.
There's also meds before this locked gate that you have to take. It's Volumen, a contrast material used for imaging. You have no choice but to take it. You walk until you reach another tunnel, this time a huge fleshy gap in the wall surrounded by a coloured halo. You walk until you see graffiti on the wall. Every day is the same.
I guess this no. Just for a little while.
You're now in a rundown apartment. Your apartment.
It's a little bit changing. I don't need anyone.
Every time you circle the apartment, it changes, progressively getting worse each time. You can see yourself at the table, then in front of the wall.
Someone could still understand. But I did. My family.
Eventually, a path opens up in place of the apartment.
Welcome home, Tyler. You made it. You're here. The exit is just up ahead. There's no use continuing down this path.
Having been through enough, you pull the switch and leave the catacombs. The mines await.
I'll be waiting for you down the mines.
I'm serious.
will confront the source of all this suffering. And maybe, buried beneath it all, lies an answer.
This chapter is exactly the same as the Chaos chapter from the original, though you might find it a little confusing since the chapter names have desynced.
Yes.
Madness now being the name for the Catacombs exclusive chapter, and the Madness chapter from the original straight up being gone. The naming convention definitely works since the Catacombs were purely psychological horror, making you feel like your character was progressively getting more and more insane with every step.
You're almost at your goal. Just this final push, and you'll finally meet the one speaking to you all this time, and maybe put a stop to all this corruption. But as always, there's another obstacle in your way.
Before the mine lies an open scar of the earth, known as the Gap. At its center, the spire is emitting radiation. Enough to kill you. There is no other way around. If you intend to pass, you'll need protection. A lead-plated suit, heavy, cumbersome, but anything standing between you and slow death. The warehouses nearby are filled with abandoned equipment. If you search carefully, you'll find what you need. The suit will weigh you down like a coffin. Carrying anything else will only drag you further into suffering. Whatever you've been hoarding up till now, whatever tools you've clung to, now is the time to use them.
The radiation stat, like I mentioned earlier, is totally gone from the remake, but that doesn't stop the Tower of Irradiated Cobalt from giving you 20 new different forms of cancer if you get too close without proper shielding. There's one more thing as well you can notice. Before searching for pieces of the radiation suit, when you save at the record player, the music is completely glitched, and you can't even really recognize it anymore. In fact, it's slowly been getting worse chapter by chapter, always lowering in pitch and becoming more corrupted. It's only noticeable now since it's completely illegible. This chapter again follows closely to the original, and as you progress to find the pieces for the suits, the Forgotten Ones block your way again.
They will try to stop you. If they get in your way, kill them.
And killing the first one, they begin to fight back. And in general, the level design for this chapter feels much more hostile. Half the time, you're basically just traversing tunnels of flesh. The flesh growths aren't just in Madness, they're spread everywhere now, even though you're grounded. Very fitting if you're nearing the source of the infection. But it doesn't explain the books from the library being stacked everywhere, or how the buildings you move around in look very similar to the apartment building from Storm. How you'd see different locations all converging in on each other. If anything, it reminds me of the Dreg Heap in Dark Souls 3. The world here doesn't make sense. Different locations, maybe even different time periods, all converging into each other. Like everything around you is sinking. Impossible ravines split. Entire cities, Dreg Heap, are slowly sinking into the abyss. There's also a couple of quirks in the level design where devs try to abuse your navigation skills to bait you into traps. Like this room with a door that you can open, a rarity considering like 90% of the doors in this game are locked by default. There's a little bit of loot inside and just another door like this one that you went through. So of course you try to open it and then you're hit with the jump scare again. One more thing to find here before you actually progress is another wind vein puzzle. Now this one is slightly different from the other ones, as you need to not only find and hit all of the wind veins, but you also have had to have saved all possible uses from the bolt cutter from the Storm chapter, as well as all 3 fuses from Forgotten. Now you might wonder, what's the amazing reward you get for never using the bolt cutters? You get this.
There's no achievement for it, nothing to actually commemorate you doing this. You've been depriving yourself of using the bolt cutter and something actually helpful
just for this unforgettable experience. But it is a reference to the original mod, so I guess I'll let that. There's a couple more tapes to find scattered around as well, both repeated from notes in the original.
Mr. Scott, this is John Thomas calling again from CW Medical. I'm pleased to let you know that the therapy was a success. You're officially in remission. We'd like to schedule a follow-up test in a few months, just to keep an eye on things. Please give me a call back when you can, and we'll find a time that works for you. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. But for now, I think it's safe to say celebrations are in.
The cheery tone of the message of what's supposed to be good news almost feels jarring to hear with where you are now and what you're going through. Soon enough, though, the voice on the radio brings you back down to reality.
You never came here to save anyone. You came to bury yourself. You see.
The biggest change in this chapter, in my eyes, is how vocal the voice gets here. In the original, he just ordered you around, had a monotone voice, told you what to do, and even dropping this one-liner that does go pretty hard. Here, he never leaves your side, constantly dragging you deeper and deeper, closer to him and your goal.
The disease. It has taken over this place. Leave the past behind. Forget the people who left you. Forget the life that betrayed you. Here, there's no only silence.
When you have all the pieces of the suit, the game doesn't even let you put it on outright, instead forcing you up to this gate and to initiate a cutscene that immediately wipes your entire inventory. The voice technically warns you about it beforehand, saying how the suit is too heavy and you won't be able to carry anything with you.
You have everything you need, the suit. To put it on. The weight will be too much to bear. You will need to leave your equipment behind.
But the entire suit only weighs around 20 kilograms, and hopefully with how many CSTN pills you've been spamming the entire game, you're probably still pretty light. It's similar to how in Cry of Fear, the final act forced Simon to lose his bag and halving his inventory capacity, but here you're left with nothing. Fortunately, there is a way around it. Dump your entire inventory on the ground, put the suit back on, and then pick everything up. Wait a minute. He said I'm going to lose everything, right? I got a plan. And then I'll put the suit on. Oh, I'm a genius. Smartest player alive. I didn't drop. I got no ammo. The suit itself is also in an even worse condition than the original. On top of the cracks on the visor, you get a huge patch of tape blocking your left peripheral. But also, like in the original, the suit doesn't go over your hands. So, yeah, I guess say goodbye to your fingers with all that radiation. Yeah. When you finally get a move on, you can progressively hear your Geiger counter get louder. And the voice comes back again. I can't even call him the voice on the radio anymore, since now you can hear him clearly like he's standing next to you.
Every step you took, every fight, every desperate breath, it was all part of the same march towards the inevitable. Let it go. There's nothing for it.
You finally reach the mines. They seem much more peaceful at first, if not peaceful then at least quiet, repeating the trope of never seeing an enemy while you don't have a weapon to defend yourself. But soon enough you reach an armory with a revolver, a lot of ammo, and the returning goat, the double-barrel shotgun. You might ask what's the point of deleting your entire inventory if the game is to manage the and also same level you and the enemies. If you've been holding on items the entire game. This final chapter would be too easy, and the devs would have to try and design around it to make it more challenging, while still providing an experience for the average Polygon reviewer who's barely scraping by.
It's also kind of a turning point. Up until now, firearms are secondary. Maybe you use them more if you looted a lot of ammo. You couldn't really rely on them 100 times. That was still the job of your melee weapon. Now that shifts as you're stuck just to guns. No safety lead pipe to fall back on if you run out of ammo, making each bullet count that much more.
Except there's no enemies anywhere to even use them on. The tunnels are empty, devoid of anything. You can find a record player completely broken, jumping all around the track, until you get to a huge hall with a figure in the middle, just standing there, its head spinning around. Suddenly, the lights go out. The emergency lighting comes on alongside alarms, and you're finally ambushed by all the monsters that have been waiting for you down here. Because of the lead suit slowing you down, it's pretty hard to not tank damage here. But thankfully, the double barrel completely carries all through this section, letting you collapse multiple enemies at once and taking out all but the heaviest armored enemies in one clean shot. If you do run out of ammo, miners thankfully do drop their weapons.
Like I mentioned before, their durability is terrible, only being able to land a few blows before breaking, but they can double up as projectiles that finish off an enemy instead of whacking them 200 times with the butt of your shotgun.
Eventually, you end up in a huge cavern with a cube in the middle, marked with the same symbols you've been encountering throughout the game. Omega, a dagger, and a ship's wheel. To open it, you have to pull the switches in the right order, given to you on a scrap of paper, except the person drawing you the instructions was apparently a complete brokey, not even being able to afford a new marker after having drawn all the maps and notes you found earlier, making these instructions almost completely forcing you to guess the symbols from the vaguest of possible markings. But if you stare at the paper long enough for the faded patterns to etch themselves into your brain, you'll notice the unique markings of each symbol. First, this little broken line belonging to one of the spokes on the ship's wheel. Secondly, you can see the symbol's outline just barely contrasting against the paper. Third, you get nothing. Literally nothing, apart from a small smudge. But because the last symbol is very clearly the rounded top of Omega, the third symbol has to be the blade. Because it's only 4 symbols, you might think that you could just use trial and error. Although make sure to save first, because pulling the wrong lever immediately collapses the ceiling and drowns you and everything inside the cavern. Although the enemies don't really seem to be too bothered. Once you finally input the right combination, a switch activates, letting you open the huge cube in the middle.
Please, take a seat. I'm afraid the results came back exactly as we feared. Further tests confirm it. Stage 3B, lung cancer. Fort Oasis doesn't have the kind of equipment you'd need for treatment. There's simply nothing here that can help you at this stage. You'll need to return to Clearwater as soon as possible for chemotherapy, possibly surgery. I'm sorry, Tyler.
You wake up without your suit, without anything. You're left defenseless again, standing in the pieces of what's left of your Fort Oasis. Infected flesh growing everywhere like tumors. You have to navigate this maze of dead ends as new monsters you've never seen before manifest themselves. It's the same reveal as the original that you, Tyler, had lung cancer. But instead of reading a pop-up PNG of a letter, Tyler doesn't even read it because we've seen it happen before. Eventually, you can find a shotgun, at least something to defend yourself with. You have barely enough ammo to dispatch the enemies. You keep fighting, keep struggling, until... You face your final challenge. The faceless man responsible for bringing you here. The one who just earlier knocked you out with the pickaxe. The one now screaming at you for ruining his life. The only way out now is through him. This fight feels so...
Go fuck yourself!
Arbitrary monsters anymore. Now it's the position of a human being. I mean, he doesn't have a face in replaced with this like fleshy void. He's still dressed human and screams like one when you throw bottles at him. So caving his skull in with a pickaxe still feels a bit different than the rest of the enemies in this game. He fights the same way you do, not mimicking like in other games where enemies will copy your movements one to one and the entire challenge is a puzzle to outsmart them, but he'll charge up heavy attacks, dodge out of the way, even parrying, and also throwables if you move too far away. And more importantly, he completely hates you. You could never reason with the monsters earlier since, you know, they were monsters, just animated flesh puppets. But this feels much more personal. He hates you so much, he would never let you leave. He's got you exactly where he wanted, in a fight to the death. As you fight him, you can hear him screaming at you or mumbling, so distraught with rage that he can't even form coherent sentences anymore. When you do enough damage, he collapses, but it's far from over. You walk through the same hallway you did in the original, the forgotten ones on the sides stabbing themselves as you make it to the door at the end. A revolver, your revolver, on the ground underneath. You're back in the forest again, and soon enough, you see him. But when you knock him down, he doesn't disappear. Instead, huge glowing tendrils drop from the sky, attaching to him and then attacking you. You have to shoot them with your revolver to release him, and then let you fight him again. Now he's throwing everything he has at you, even bringing in forgotten ones to attack. Same ones he earlier told you to kill. He despises you, blaming you for everything, even though all you did was follow his instructions. But with so much you've already been through, you eventually persevere. Land the fatal blow, he disappears, the tendrils supporting him, falling out of the sky.
Tyler, there was no other way. Even when we beat the disease, it was still... She left us. Everyone left us. The isolation. The loneliness. We don't. I don't have to take it anymore.
You're back in the same room. Noose, chair, and again, there's no other way out. As you proceed, you see a figure standing in the doorway that's now opened up behind you, lit by the sun of the oceans from a better time, but there's no point now.
There's not much room for interpretation here. Tyler kills himself. The conclusion is the same spirit as the original mod. The main story of the entire game takes place wholly within his mind, spiraling lower and lower, dark parts of the psyche, pushing further into eventual suicide. That's all still there. But the framing around it is a lot more complex.
For one, there's a lot more symbolism, which you can see all the way in the first chapter of the game. Remember that dial puzzle that was new to the remake, and how the symbols kept reappearing before eventually showing up as the final puzzle for the game? I talked a bit about what they could mean earlier, but once you get them ordered to open the box, they come together to represent Tyler's life. From the ship's wheel, standing in for the shipwreck that brought him to Fort Oasis, the Hindi symbol here symbolizing the peace he finally achieved having moved there, the dagger being the stab in the back and Leader leaving. But also everything else that followed, the cancer diagnosis, the death of Oasis, and finally Omega, the end. Speaking of the end, there's also an alternative ending, just like the mod, where you stop yourself from completely cutting yourself off from the world. These also follow the same theme of defying the voice on the radio. Like in Chapter 2, you have to again find Leader's note under the graveyard, the same graveyard that the voice tells you is pointless exploring.
Why are you going down there? The storage room is your way. There's nothing in the graveyard worth finding. Only things best left undisturbed.
You do the exact same thing as in the mod, breaking pallets to drop down, but instead of a blood-soaked area, it's more subtle. The area just seems forgotten, like Tyler was hiding it from himself. There's no loot apart from a single tape recorder, which ironically is placed near some metal bars, making you feel like you're in a prison.
Tyler, please pick up. I just wanted you to understand. I've made up my mind. I feel isolated here. Trapped. I know you've always dreamed of living by the sea. This isn't a life for me. My family misses me. And I miss them. I'll never forget the time we shared. You're a good person, Tyler. And I will always love you. I couldn't say this to your face. I didn't want our last to be another fight. I've tried over and over to reach you, but you won't listen. Please, take care of yourself. I love you. I always will.
This note is very painful for Tyler, so much that he repressed it and hid it in his subconscious. But it's something he needs to hear, to remember again that Leader never stopped loving him. This is a huge turning point for Tyler, and the first instance of him breaking out of his own fantasy. But unfortunately, all sincerity at the time was lost because I was doing a clip farm.
You're a good person, Tyler.
Shut up, woman. I need to think. Although Chapter 3 is a sort of exception to the not listening to the voice theme, we're supposed to avoid killing the final boss, just like in the mod, but strangely the voice on the radio actually seems to guide you towards your goal here. Like, he initially tries pointing you to a way where you could avoid even fighting her in the first place. Then, as you enter the boss room, even asks you to make it quick. The pain of completely wiping out the connection you have with the Leader is too much even for him. He also hints the way you're actually supposed to get out of a boss fight, which, by the way, is ridiculously convoluted, despite me blazing this game constantly. After he sends you to the police station and you get the stem, he tells you to keep the fuses around in case they're useful later. Which, okay, if there was just an open slot in the boss room, this would be pretty obvious. But instead, the remake also took the concept of a breakable wall from the original, so you have to go back for the fuses. Then in the fight, bait the boss into using one specific attack that she won't use unless you damage her enough. This is also on a completely random wall that doesn't stand out as falling apart. The only sign that might be special being the graffiti saying they're gone.
So I
don't really feel like anyone would be able to discover this unless it was completely on accident. And when you do it and escape the boss, leaving the leader alive, you can hear us screaming at you. It doesn't feel like you've made a good choice here.
Don't go. Please, never again. Don't leave us.
But with
that being said, at least it's not a permanent solution. Chapter 4 is easy enough if you pick up the fact that madness isn't actually a bad thing in this game, since it's your state after taking the pills. The name's scrawled out, but you can pretty easily read that it's fluoxetine, a commonly prescribed antidepressant. They're supposed to be beneficial for Tyler's sanity, numbing out all of his delusions, but from your perspective, they corrupt and mutate the game environment. That's because it's all a delusion that he's built for himself. The meds are helping break that down. That and the fleshifying of the island, as well as flashes of figures and the frequent blinking, could also be a manifestation of brain shivers, which are actually mentioned in the item description, and are a side effect Tyler complains about in one of his notes. That's why I think madness is such a smart addition. It looks hostile, like you need to escape from it, but it's the closest thing throughout the game that Tyler gets to breaking down his own fantasy. But the subconscious part of his brain is rejecting it. That's why everything looks so horrific. If you don't drown yourself after the final madness section, where you come out right in front of the store, you find a tunnel leading directly to the exit elevator, completely bypassing the flesh. This one's at least very obvious about what you have to do, with the note saying that burning the flesh means severing the connections. And when you throw the Molotov, you even see an effigy of Ryan, the guy who just earlier trusted you with the key. The game here is sounding a siren that you're not making the right choice here.
At this point, the voice does actually pick up that you're not listening to him with the choices you made previously, even getting really angry at you for it.
You came here seeking meaning, seeking truth. But when you stood at the threshold, faltered. You couldn't go through with it. They won't save you. They'll strip you apart, piece by piece, until there's nothing left. If you won't open your eyes, then why are you here?
But who cares? Taking the secret path gave me the White Skeleton an entire chapter early. Crossroads is where the good ending stops being just knowing things or following a guide. Here you get a small pointer as what you're supposed to do after the madness section, that being where you get the revolver, with Ryan's voice breaking through to you just before you're about to ground yourself.
Oh, that record player. I know grounding yourself right now is what you're aching to do, but we may have to dig deeper if we're going to get through this. I know it hurts, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It may be faint, but it's there. You're stronger than you. You just have to keep moving toward it.
In your medicated state, you stay connected to reality, to other people, where Ryan can actually reach through calling you. All those phones you pick up normally with static, those were his attempts to reach you that simply couldn't break through the barrier that you put around yourself.
Lore-wise, this is amazing storytelling, really. But gameplay-wise, means you have to complete the entire chapter in madness. Meaning you can't ground yourself, meaning you can't stay. You have to go through it completely deathless, which is easily the hardest challenge the game throws at you. Ryan even warns you how hard it is, which is the point. To make progress, the hardest part always comes first. To reap the rewards later.
Now, Crossroads isn't an insanely difficult chapter by itself, but there's so many ways that you can fall off the map and lose a full hour of progress, especially in the dark room.
It's
extremely stressful, and definitely the hardest part of getting a good ending. There's no auto-saving here either. While in Madness, those enemies from the revolver section also keep spawning pretty much everywhere you go, constantly keeping you guessing if they're going to break free from the tendril and start chasing you, or stand there and have your full attention while another enemy sneaks up on you. But all the way through it, you have Ryan staying in touch and trying to keep you stable enough to be able to keep pushing through.
I know grounding yourself right now is what you're aching to do, but we may have to dig deeper if we're going to make it through this. I know it hurts, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It may be faint, but it's there. And you're stronger than you think. You just have to keep moving toward it. I haven't kept in touch with Lita. She's not easy to find these days. I'm sorry about that. You got a little girl. That's incredible. I'm sorry you haven't been able to see her. I can't imagine how much that weighs on you. You need to focus on yourself first. Get your footing. Get your mind in a place where you can stand again. You've been to hell and back. I know it's less scars, but it's good. It's reassuring to hear your side of it. I'm glad you reached out again this connection alive. That means a lot. Fort Oasis, it was beautiful. So many good memories. Moments I thought would last forever. It's hard to accept it's all gone now. Hey, listen. We're still here. We might be scattered. Living different lives, walking different paths. We haven't disappeared. You just have to find us again. And you can. Tyler. I know you can.
He's genuinely trying to help you, unlike the voice on the radio who just wants to use you to get what he thinks is best for himself. Ryan is there to help Tyler get better, something the voice tried desperately to convince Tyler wasn't true. What separates Ryan and the voice on the radio is that Ryan admits to you how things are going to get worse before they get any better. He's being honest with you, instead of coldly instructing you where to go, like the voice on the radio, acting like everything is an inevitability. If you ground yourself at any point in this level, which the game might trick you into doing by spreading numerous record players around, the monster count drops, the chapter becomes easy to navigate, but Ryan is gone, and the phones are again replaced with static. Apart from moral support, the game itself also rewards you for doing it. As more fleshy tunnels open up around the map every time you blink, gives you access to more rare loot, like CSTM pills or hunger busters. And more importantly, at the end, when you enter the library, the labyrinth of shelves is gone, and so is the bus for this area. The medication you took suppresses the thought patterns that created him. You're not getting lost within your memories, no more rumination, and he's no longer there to twist them against you. Instead, you actually get a nice ordered set of rooms. And instead of the voice on the radio explaining what the librarian boss was, this keeper and rumination of all your negative thoughts, that voice line is entirely replaced by the radio ringing one more time.
I know there are things turning over in your head. Dark truths, regrets. Letting them twist and drag out. It's not what you need right now. What you need is to heal, to get better. The past, it won't give you anything more suffering. Don't let yourself drown in it. I know you, Tyler. Stronger than you think. I've seen it. You've been through more than anyone should ever have. But you've always found a way to come.
You'll survive.
Like Ryan said, you can't let yourself drown in the past. The medication finally letting you pass through it like nothing happened. The librarian boss was Tyler personally keeping all of his mistakes and bad memories stored in his head, ruminating on them so they became this catalogue that he could easily access to punish himself and keep himself in a loop. That's why the building is so large, because it occupied such a large part of his head. But with Ryan giving him support, he was able to reduce it and pass through it without confrontation. After this, the rest of the chapters are much easier. Progression isn't exactly clear on what you're supposed to do from the get-go, but you might notice just how much the voice on the radio fucking hates the Lurker. The Lurker represents the people around Tyler, who he viewed as always watching him, looking down on him. These could have been friends, family, or just people he passed by that didn't know about his problems. Imagine the amount of people you pass or talk to every day that are having their own problems and issues. These can spiral to the point that you villainize everyone around you, that they don't get you, or they think that they're better than you. This is another amalgamation of the connections that the voice on the radio wanted you to burn in the Storm chapter. The voice wants you to kill it and have Tyler get revenge by, again, cutting himself off from everyone he views as an antagonist. But this actually has the easiest solution. Even though seeming inevitable, you can literally just walk past the pipe and not do it. The gate to the next area isn't even locked, you just have to interact with it. Again, in a meta sense, it's playing on that rule of doing an objective to unlock the next area, but you can completely defy that. He'll initially be confused about how you missed the valve, but after the chase sequence, he'll be enraged by you not following through with it. That's why that voice line just looks red through my head. What do you think you initially achieved by letting that thing roll this place? You're making a mistake. It won't solve anything. Again, the new voice acting really sells the rage at you defying him. He's genuinely convinced that his way is the only way and all of the progress you make is pointless. If you don't turn any of the valves except the final one for the level, the Lurker will be intact, and all the connections in the form of trees will still be alive, wailing and screaming. Again, it doesn't feel like you did the right thing, because you're still stuck in the fantasy, and he contacts you again to let you know you're not doing what he wants.
You let it live. This won't solve anything.
He starts to sound genuinely defeated now, slowly coming to terms with your actions. The Catacombs have the exact same gimmick they did in the original, where right at the end of the chapter, you can see a way out, with the radio telling you there's no point exploring anymore, but you can choose to go down a longer path instead of just leaving immediately by the tape from Tyler's therapist.
Hi, this is Leanne Mills here. Tyler, I just want to tell you I'm glad that you stayed with therapy as long as you have. Even when you felt like it wasn't working. Over the past few weeks, I've noticed a real shift in your attitude. It seems like you're starting to accept your darker thoughts, instead of trying to bury them. That's important. If you keep working at it, I believe you can make real, lasting changes, even if you choose to continue this path without my help. And honestly, I don't think you'll need it. So keep going. You're stronger than you realize. And take care of yourself.
But rather than the tape, just the action of delving deeper here matters. The catacombs represent the therapy that Tyler went through, with the voice not being able to reach him here. He even tells Tyler to not get lost down there to prevent him from dwelling too much on his therapy and straying from the path that he set out for him. The graffiti on the walls being affirmations from his therapist, crossed out now that the fantasy is in full effect. To go down and get the tape, you put in the work to revisit and remember your therapy, instead of pushing through, focusing only on your end goal and throwing all that effort away. This tape, talking about making progress, is purposely stored in an area that's incredibly hard to reach. Earlier in the chapter, you had to turn your lighter off to avoid an unseen enemy, but now it's the complete opposite. If you run out of flares because your light is dead, it'll hunt you down, instantly killing you. You have to retrace the entire map backwards, finding flares to keep the light going until you find the recording, and then
chaos, one final step. It's exactly like the mods, and there's only this one group of forgotten ones in total, blocking your way to a shortcut and loot that at this point is pretty much useless anyway, so it's not really a big sacrifice. It's funny how one of the last requests is the most easy to overcome, almost as if the fantasy is running out of juice. Finally, once you make it all the way to the mines, face the voice and beat him again. Instead of approaching him as he kneels depressed at the edge of the pit, you see a literal light at the end of the tunnel.
Tyler. I was wrong. I was wrong.
10 out
of 10. Bravo, Wobaholic. Keeping yourself grounded to reality stops Tyler from spiraling out. He doesn't feed the delusion in his mind, instead staying connected to the real world and finally manage to work through his thought patterns.
One tidbit here I really like as well is how when the voice starts talking again and says he was wrong, he melds into your own voice, finally becoming one with Tyler again as he learns to live life despite the dark part of his mind. And the sound design for two endings is also completely stellar. In the normal ending, you get a tragic, depressing rendition of the game's main theme, hammering down Tyler's hopelessness. Meanwhile, here, you get a peaceful, promising track, reminiscent of the music we heard back in the past for Oasis section of the Madness chapter. Somehow recapturing the best moments of your life through finally dealing with your psyche.
Even though it looks like your reward for going through all these steps is just a field of grain you can walk through for a little bit, that change of going from a depressing and predictable ending to one that's genuinely hopeful, with Tyler finally having a possible future, does make it worth it. I do like this ending. It shows that all his problems aren't immediately fixed. He still has no way to contact Lida. A lot of his friends are still gone, but at least he has another day to at least try something new. Although, that being said, I did have an idea in my head how the ending would go as a final confrontation.
You think this solves anything? Go on. Get your ending. You'll be back here soon enough. You still have anyone who would want you. You couldn't even go there. Coward. It took all of that just to the next day. Why even fight? Lida left you. Ryan reached out only because he knew how pathetic you were and didn't want your guilt imprinted onto him. But they'll forget. They'll all forget about you eventually. Too busy with their own lives. And you're just a burden to everyone around you. Because you're so fucked up. You're not killing us over this. I still have a chance. I can leave. What do you have? Misery. Wallowing in self-pity. You're the one who's pathetic. What can I say? I learned from the best. It's done. You're done. I don't know what I'll do next, but it's at least something. Thanks for making me realize that. No. No, you don't get to think me! Who do you think put us here? Who do you think fucked everything up? You did, Tyler. Stop trying, you know I'm right! Maybe weak, maybe impatient, but you'll end up back here. And then what? Straight back to square one. You fuck up everything around you. All you have is me.
You might have
noticed I didn't really do much analysis of the notes of this game, and I did that for a couple of reasons. First, the remake is a very open story, being much less subtle than the original, not leaving nearly as much room for interpretation or bringing in new theories or ideas, since there's a very clear structure of what happens, and most importantly, it shows a lot of it actually happening on screen, or let's allude to it via the tape. And yes, lore is the same as the March. Tyler's story has no changes, and I've already explained and analysed it fully in my original video. The remake doesn't make any changes to it because it doesn't really need to. The big change is it introduces the ways the story is actually told, and how much really fleshes out about him and the events that made him end up here. Leader and Cora especially get a lot more attention in the remake, as probably the people with the most impact on Tyler. It's nice to see them get more story to themselves, with Leader now being much more present, appearing as a disembodied voice so many times. Not to mention as well the numerous tapes of her speaking. The references to Cora being everywhere and forgotten to a point it's completely unmissable, and even adding more character to Tyler, with the note of him trying to access Cora's records, attempting to find out more about her, but not reaching out outright, likely afraid of having to speak to Leader again and risk reopening that wound. There's also Ryan. He gets the special honor of appearing in the game himself, rather than a grotesque manifestation of how Tyler would see him, probably because he's still trying to make the effort to reach Tyler when the game takes place. Despite his quote-unquote confession in Chapter 4, he's the one person actively trying to help him, and only through taking his advice can Tyler actually make it out and start to get better. He only becomes corrupted if you go through with what Tyler wants. There's also much smaller characters like the landlord, Mr. Wayne, whose inclusion seems to be more to pad out the timeline a bit, having him give Tyler the apartment, but also showing another example of a friendly face in Tyler's life, who again made an offer to reach out, and this didn't really fit the voice's view of his life, where everyone was apparently looking down on him. You never meet this character, only notes and recordings, but it's obviously meant something to Tyler to keep it repressed in his memories. Think about a lot of the main ones, but a lot of genuinely smaller and subtler references, alongside the more heavy-handed ones you only get by replaying the game. For every pack of cigarettes called Illness, with a tagline that literally says, "Smoke these if you want to die," or an apparition of your ex-wife, you also get passages that look like MRI machines, referencing Tyler's lung cancer treatment, or that entire First Madness section in Crossroads representing the hospital he went to, complete with that syringe that tries to drown you.
Is that true? That's delightful.
Or even tumors appearing next to where you find the pieces of the radiation suit, shrinking as you pick them up, referencing his chemotherapy. These appear especially in the Madness chapter, because this chapter represents his therapy. This is also probably why you get the biggest revelations here. The flashbacks to being stranded on the island in the first place. The entire sequence with Fort Oasis in the past. Seeing how beautiful that time of his life was for Tyler. Only for him to revisit Leader leaving him again. Something that was probably brought up a lot in therapy, seeing as this seemed to be around the time that things started to go wrong for him. As you walk along the path, you can even see the telephone hanging above your head, getting further and further away, showing Tyler losing contact with the people around him, then taking Volumen, a contrast material used for medical scans, walking into a literal MRI machine and ending up in the apartment. Back on the mainland, after he'd already lost everything, you see Tyler trapped in his apartment, walking around in a spiral as you watch him descend into insanity. And just at that very moment, you see him creating what would later become the voice on the radio. Family, friends, no one around him could understand him, so he created something that could, something that would push him to do what he's wanted for so long. That sequence is actually what's happening moments before the game starts with the opening text. This is the room where Tyler created his fantasy to escape from everything.
There's so many points the game utilizes some summary retelling of the story. I mentioned the 4 symbols earlier, but there's also the puzzle poem from the library. Again, reference to his shipwreck, finding Fort Oasis, everything eventually falling apart, isolation, and now being stuck in this creation of mind, desperately trying to end it. The names of the authors you need to put on the nameplates are just anagrams, the names of important characters from Tyler's life.
Or the game outright asking you if you want to end the suffering whenever you try to quit out, since that also stops Tyler's self-destructive spiral, similar to how in the original there was graffiti telling you to stop playing the game. Although personally I see this option as escapism compared to an actual good ending. If you quit and then hide from your darker thoughts instead of working through them, they'll always resurface and bring you right back to where you left off. It has similar themes to Lost in Vivo, a game that I covered years ago. You can leave early, but you get a non-conclusive ending where you survive, but the world around you becomes smaller because you didn't confront your problems head on. Also, none of this would have happened just an amazing game that makes you do terrible things with no other option and then bizarrely blames you for doing it in the first place. Yes, I'll cover that game eventually. Maybe when I'm like 40, so give me like a month. It's a similar case with dying in the game. Usually enemies are set up to represent connections in Tyler's life, things that still keep him grounded to reality. The voice wants you to fight through them since they're the ones actively holding you back, trying to stop Tyler until he himself chooses to cut them off by killing them to progress towards his goal. If you die to one of them, that just means the connection is still strong enough to keep Tyler sane and break his spiral. You'll even notice that you often get even more enemies while in a madness state. The pills actively fighting against Tyler's self-destructiveness and making it harder for him to not break the delusion. But if you continue pushing on, the voice on the radio starts to sound clearer and clearer, its influence becoming stronger as Tyler keeps spiraling, closer to the mines and closer to going through them. As you progress through the game, everything becomes more distorted, especially when close to the mines. There are impossible ravines, concrete, wood, graphite raising into the atmosphere. It reminds me of the Dreg Heap in Dark Souls 3. Yes, this is a Dark Souls comparison, cry about it. The Dreg Heap was the end of an age, everything slowly and inevitably sinking into the center, something long past its expiration date. But like how Tyler's fantasy is nearing its conclusion, it struggles to maintain itself, showing how fragile it was all along.
One more reoccurring theme as well is drowning. Think about it, water is basically everywhere in this game, from just the ocean surrounding Fort Oasis to that water and being used to kill the worker with missions and several other sections that you have to go through. One thing with the swimming mechanic in the game, you're never actually allowed to swim upwards whenever you're underwater. You immediately sink to the bottom and just walk.
Though you'd assume Tyler should be able to swim since he did work as a Coast Guard. The shipwreck that washed him on the island in the first place must have been very traumatic for him. Even in the Chapter 7 Madness section, you have to walk through a tight corridor surrounded by raging water. As he's brought back to the event, clearly something he still remembers and can't let it go. With the Storm chapter showing how fresh it is in his memory, the storm that stranded him on the ocean still is. And then also that part in Crossroads where the fear is combined with a reminder of his cancer treatment, a needle flooding him with blood, almost drowning him. And even very early on in the game, one of the earlier transmissions has a double meaning.
I've been alone in this place. Isolated, rotting away. It has been suffocating.
It's obviously talking about the suffocation from being isolated, but it can literally also mean suffocating, something which nearly happened to Tyler. Alcohol could have also been something Tyler was struggling with to help him cope through the isolation. That's why so many throwables in the game are alcohol bottles. There's no reason why there's so many in the game unless it was a problem that Tyler had. It's a very easy fix to numb everything and to forget for a few hours. Tyler actually mentions in one
note that he can't even look people in the eye. But alcohol makes you so stupid that you get out of your head, you stop overthinking, only for it to act like a credit card to take the same away from you plus interest. The shame, regret, or guilt only comes back stronger, cascading from something that used to help you, now in complete control of your life. Substance abuse is never really the problem, it's the symptom of something much larger. And Tyler was obviously using it to get out of his own head for a few moments, without dealing with the issues that were causing it in the first place. I think a lot of people treat substance abuse as something easy to overcome, or it shows weak character that somebody could be so addicted to something. It's always interesting how addiction seems to spiral or relapse from rumination. It's never when you're out doing something. It's usually always when you're alone with your own thoughts. And one of the hardest things to overcome is dealing with those thoughts and being happy with your own existence. Total Chaos wasn't trying to make that argument. I just found it interesting how there were so many bottles that were completely full scattered across the chapters. Talking more about Tyler's projections in this fantasy, you can even take them places where the devs didn't even think about it. Like the radiation spire from Chaos, another possible reference to either radiotherapy for his cancer, or the cancer itself. With the gap where the spire is, then maybe symbolizing the parts of his life at the time of Fort Oasis he lost because of it. Or the graffiti in Crossroads, which I initially thought was relating to only having to complete 6 out of 7. Only having to complete 6 out of 7 of the steps with a good ending. But this initial theory I had isn't the case. You still have to do Crossroad to completely save this. And instead, this is referencing that the revolver behind the wall has 6 bullets in the cylinder, giving Tyler 6 chances to shoot himself. Or, you know about these 4 symbols. Well, they do represent his life story. Tyler was actually an electrician. Interesting coincidence to be using the Omega, also known as when you use it as the SI unit, maybe giving the symbol a double meaning depending on which ending you get. The Omega when Tyler ends it all, and the when Tyler literally resists. You might say this is insane, because it is, but remember that Hindi symbol that I said earlier meant peace? It's literally vocalized as the exact same as All of that aside, there's a couple smaller things still left to talk about in the remake. Mostly quality of life changes, like a literal tourist mode if you find the game too hard, where you can disable its survival elements like hunger and weapon durability. And then there's also the opposite quality of life, survivalist mode. This is the hard mode of the game, and holy shit, it sucks. There's significantly less loot, meaning you'll very likely get trapped in a resource drain cycle, from having to break more crates for items you need to survive, which of course damages your weapons and increases your hunger, making you break more crates, and so on and so on. But what's even worse is you're not even allowed to save normally. The record players are still there, but they don't have a record playing, forcing you to diligently loot every area just in case you can find a spare record to save your game. It's basically the same as the ink ribbons from Resident Evil. Even some of the records you find are broken in half, so you'll have to find 2 separate pieces and then tape them together with either precious tape or wood glue for your weapons. Even the shotgun you'd normally find in middle storage is broken, it's missing a pump, and you won't find that pump for at least another few chapters. Overall, very punishing, absolutely atrocious experience, 10 out of 10. And that's not even the end, because just like the original, there's a New Game Plus. Somehow this is even more rigged against you than the mod version. New Game Plus throws you into a cut-down version of the main game. Everything here is even more hellish. The skybox in the mod was just a black void, but now it's almost an ocean, making you feel fathoms deep underwater. You start out with a double-barrel shotgun, the same as the mod, an axe, and a bunch of supplies. The voice on the radio is also completely absent. Every chapter is now infested with endgame enemies. There's also entirely new enemies here.
and
and apparitions to show that Tyler never actually got better. The Hunter also makes an appearance, doing 2 full bars of damage, as well as instantly breaking any weapon you try to use to parry him. There are safe zones you get to briefly stop the pursuer, but they're incredibly small and fleeting. If you combine this with survivalist mode, you'll be getting pretty close to feeling exactly how Tyler did going through the game. Most of the steps you would take for the good ending are completely inaccessible, and when you make it to the end, you get a very different ending.
Police department, we need you to open the door.
One that I wasn't expecting and is incredibly depressing.
Hello? Anyone home?
The ending picks up from where you left off on the regular ending of the main game.
Jesus.
Oh, God. How long have they been like that?
Though Tyler is dead and wouldn't be around to see this, you can either interpret this as his imagining of how the world would find him after his suicide.
Oldest letter is dated 89. It's been 80 years. And nobody came for him.
Or that even in death, he's still not free from his suffering. If anything, just delving more into this madness.
It's honestly a bit of a shock. I mean, in the main game, you literally see him commit suicide, but hearing the police officers find his body, as well as being able to see his body hanging there, it's pretty grim. You even just have the detail at the end where you see letters scattered in front of his door alongside a bracelet. Cora's bracelet.
As Tyler spiraled down into his negative thoughts and distanced himself from everyone in his life through literally burning and killing connections, as you do many times throughout the game, there was no one left to care about him anymore. No one left to check on him, either alienated or pushed away from him. I spoke to Sam, the developer, on why the New Game Plus ending is so bitter and meek. And he told me that this ending is loosely based off a real-life story that happened to Joyce Vinson, a British woman who died in 2003. A couple years before her death, she had heavily reduced contact with her friends and family, and with no one to check on her, it took a full 2 years for her body to be found in her apartment, with her TV still on from the day that she died. Even the theme of unopened letters under the door might be inspired from her story, as her family tried contacting her, even hiring a private detective to try and find her. They only ever found her previous address and tried sending letters to get her there, but never got a reply. Even to this day, no one knows a specific reason why Joyce chose to self-isolate to that extent. But I do think that Total Chaos does an amazing job of showing the portrayal of how incredibly easy it is for people to fall into that cycle. Even how the therapist tell you directly that isolation can
I love myself.
You're staying inside, and that can be worrisome. It gets to be kind of like its own addiction.
You might start manifesting realities that don't exist, where Tyler was projecting this inner anger onto everyone around him, and that creates a self-fulfilling cycle of pushing people away, so the idea that they always hated you becomes a reality, which in turn only fueled his own narrative. I know a fair amount of people that watch content like this do consider themselves some kind of outsider. You know, the person at the party that's in the corner of the room going, "They'd never understand me. I watch YouTuber video essays." Shut the fuck up! And I know you've all heard what I'm going to say a million times, but it's always important to reach out to people. Friends, family, even a random person in a video game. There's always a connection to be made. Unless it's Valorant, then you're completely lost course, sorry mate.
I'll give you a larger life impression.
Just so you work, okay there, just so you work, that you put the methods, just so you work, that equals storing grammar, take you what it is. Desire.
every step you took, every fight, every desperate breath. It was all part of the same march towards the goal. What do you think that you can achieve by letting that thing roll its place? You're making up a fake. It won't solve anything.
Over the past few weeks, I've noticed a real shift in your attitude. It seems like you're starting to step through your
I don't even know if I left it.
Mayday! This is CT Vessel 297.
Cosine
DJS.
I'm taking on
Water.
Repeat, I'm taking on water off the coast.
Can't be from here.
But why here?
You have to look beyond this.
No longer till you're here, and I have no doubt she'll be waiting for you down there. So you'll need a weapon for convention.
Tyler?
How could you say such disgusting things? I don't even know where your head is at anymore.
And honestly, I don't want you. I want nothing to do with you.
They said it would change me. And now it's too late. I don't need anyone. Someone could still understand. But not family. Not family.
Construction of small island of Fort Oasis began in mid-1963. Home to mining and the south, which housed around 2,000 residents, until the mine officially shut down in January of 1994. By June of that year, the island had been cleared of all inhabitants.
That note that you gave me. What was that all about?
This isolation is only going to make things worse. There are people who care about you. Sounds like there's a lot going on in your head. We need to get you back together.
Twoja strata, nie twoja sprawa, motherfucker! I forgot I'm streaming. Holy shit! Sorry, Habibi. Thank you for the follow, though. Well, let's see.
I think it's time I drag you down to my level, letting them show on the suffering. Choke on the suffering.
I'm sure you're
I know you, Tyler.